Just let me know whenever it's
okay.
Ready.
Ready. Yep, go. All right.
All right. So you've gotten your oils. Now what, right? So who else is excited to get started? And those of you that have your oils and are not sure what to do with them, don't worry, we've got you covered. You've recently gotten your oils and now you want to know what versatile ways that you can actually use them, right? So don't worry, this info will be recorded. So if you want to go back and listen to it, maybe you forgot to jot something down, don't worry about it. And then also too, during the recording, you're able to share it with people that maybe have joined your team that weren't able to be on right now as well. So we just would like to say, first off, your oils work best with the lids off. So, and I like to, it's kind of like our little joke, but you know, that's how to get the point across, because I've had people say like, oh, they didn't work for me. And I'm like, well, how many times did you take the lid off? And they're like, well, I didn't. Well, that's why it's not working. You forgot to take the lid off, right? So we want you to be very comfortable with using your essential oils in your home, your office, with your kids, on your pets, with your parents, with your friends, with whoever it is that you love most. So we want to mention that they're also safe from cradle to grave. So we use them as soon as the baby comes out, sometimes even before the baby comes out. And so womb all the way to the grave. So it doesn't matter if you're 120, you can still use essential oils. And at the end of this, we'll have some resources and tools for you that'll be helpful. And keep in mind, there is a huge learning curve with essential oils. And the wonderful thing is you really can't get it wrong. So when I mean a huge learning curve, I'm in the medical field and most people assume that I just know about oils, but nowhere in my nursing education did they mention anything about anything to do with essential oils whatsoever. But now they're being incorporated into nursing care, which is awesome. But, you know, so I had to learn, just like you're going to learn, how to use them. So it is very beneficial to have something like this at your fingertips to be able to know, okay, you know what, hey, I can definitely use this, this, and this. Or I always just thought, okay, instead of running to the medicine cabinet, how can I grab an essential oil first before heading to the medicine cabinet? And that's kind of how I learned, because we didn't really have a whole lot of educational tools whatsoever when me and Dena were first introduced to essential oils. So we've been in jams before with like headaches or tummy aches, and I had oils on hand, but I didn't have the ones that I would have probably went to first. Like, you know, if you have a tummy ache, you automatically think like Digest-Zen, right? But like I'd have Melaleuca, not really my first choice for tummy ache, but they're so versatile, it worked. So you really can't get it wrong, and that's what I love about some of these essential oils and using them, is because there's always going to be a benefit for you involved with when you use them. So, so we're going to be talking about sharing some of the essential oils, maybe even with your friends, and wonderful ways to support them on their journey, as well as the journey for you and your family. We're going to be talking about some of these oils. How many of you are excited to get started? So go ahead and in the chat box below, if you're on Facebook Live, go ahead and put that in there, what oil you're most excited to learn about, and then how long you've had your oils. So of course, there are 3 ways to use them: aromatically, topically, and internally. So aromatically, we can put them in a diffuser. So I have one right here. This is kind of what that looks like. You can set that up, fill it with water, put your favorite essential oils in there, and diffuse throughout the day. You can open the bottle and smell it. You can become the human diffuser, put them on yourself, and you can smell them all day. You can use them internally, very unique and specific to doTERRA. So you can put them in a capsule, you can put them in your water, you can drink them, you know, several different ways. You just drop them underneath your tongue, all kinds of different ways that you can use them internally. And then I kind of wanted to go over some of the ways that you can use them topically really quick, because a lot of times we think we forget, like, okay, where can I apply them? So there's 9 places that Dena and I like to apply them, starting with the top of your head. This is like if you have a headache or sinus stuff going on. You can also use behind your ears, same thing. If it's something to do with anything in the head related area. Maybe the back of the neck, you can use them on the chest. You can use the wrist or the forearms. Wrist or forearms go straight to the heart. So you chest or forearms or wrists. So either one works really, really well for anything cardiac related. You can use them along the spine. The spine is one of my most favorite ways because everything in your body has to communicate with your spinal column and all the cells that are involved. However, not all of us can reach our spines. So if you can't, don't worry. You can use any of these other ways to deliver your essential oils to where they need to go. I love the belly button. So if you can't get to your spine, the belly button's a great place to drop your oils. You got to think like your umbilical cord was connected there. That was your life. Everything about your life when you were created was all to do with that little spot right there. Ankles are another great place to put them, or the bottoms of your feet. And I like to say, if it's something that you don't like the smell of, put it as far away from your nose as you possibly can. So that way you still get the health benefits, but you're not having to be put off by the smell or the aroma that you're finding maybe not so pleasing. Yeah, so let's get into some of the uses of these essential oils.
All right, so lemon has so many benefits. You know, we think of lemon when we go to a restaurant, we just put it in our water, you know, and that's probably pretty much lemon pledge when you clean, you know, those kind of things. But the natural lemon from the essential oil is just so powerful. 1 drop is equivalent to 60 something squeezed lemon, 67 I think. So because it comes from the rind of the fruit. So it's really good for your health, but it's good for the reason we want to get it into us or on us is it's great for healthy cholesterol. It's wonderful for digestive functioning. It's good at supporting healthy weight because it's helping us pull and move toxins and stimulate our metabolism. It's also really good for helping with stress, your immune system. It can reduce temperature. It's great for your bladder and kidneys. It's also great to use as a perfume. It's detoxifying. It helps lift your mood. It's great for seasonal relief. So lemon is a great one to use when we're dealing with those seasonal threats and things that are driving us crazy. It can help us with sleep. It also is good for dandruff in the scalp, and it's wonderful to clean with. It's especially good on greasy surfaces. So it's really good in removing grease and things like that. I cleaned my microwave with it the other day, and it did a fabulous job of just getting all the stuff with hardly any scrubbing. I just sprayed it in there, waited, and it wiped right off. So it's a wonderful cleaning, but what it's doing there, it does in our body as well. So it's really good for just helping clean stuff out of us that we don't want in there.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
All right, so a challenge for lemon is to put 1 to 3 drops in your glass of hot water on an empty stomach upon rising and before bedtime for the next 2 weeks, and tell us what you notice. Because if you're going to do it in the morning in that hot water, it's going to help get our metabolism going. It's just going to help our body system to get going. And at night, it's just going to help us to get that stuff moving out that we just don't want in there. So let's try to do that for the next 2 weeks, 1 to 3 drops in the morning in hot water, and then also before bedtime. You can do it in cold water too, but hot's going to really help stimulate that metabolism. And then peppermint. So peppermint is one of those oils that's very versatile also. If you have peppermint, it's going to work for a lot of things. We think of peppermint like candy, so for good breath and things like that, but it has so many more benefits just besides your breath. So it's really good for digestive functioning. It's really good for gas and things like that are going on. It helps reduce muscle tension, discomfort. It's really good at reducing your body temperature, whether you're hot from hot flashes or feverish. It's really good for body temperature. It protects and soothes the skin. It helps support your bladder and kidneys. It's really good for focus and energy. If you're driving, putting a little bit on like a cotton ball and just smelling it is really good if you're tired while you're driving or trying to do something and starting to fall asleep. It's also good for healthy circulation. It'll lift your mood. It's really good for your oral cavity and your healthy gums. It helps relieve tension. It's really good for your oiliness in your skin, like the oil levels, especially for oily skin. And like I said, it's good for bad breath. It also is really good if you are pessimistic, so feelings of pessimism, giving you more of a positive outlook or heaviness, and it's wonderful for soothing our respiratory system. So if you have asthma or any kind of cold or anything going on like that, it's great for our respiratory system.
Awesome. I do like to add it to my lipstick as a plumper as well, so it kind of gives that tingly sensation. So it's great for that as well if you're kind of looking for a little bit more of a plumpier lip, tingly.
And I've also used it on my eyelids, like not too close to your eye, but up kind of high in your eyelid. It's really good at tightening and lifting a little bit up there. You just don't want to get it in your eye, but if you do kind of your upper area up here, it's great for that as well. So you can place 1 to 3 drops to the back of your neck when you go out in the heat, or when you tend to be the warmest throughout the day. I'm putting a little bit on the back of your neck. Will just give you that energy and bring your body temperature down. So another great way to use that. And 1 drop of peppermint oil is equivalent to 27 cups of peppermint tea. So you can get 1 drop into hot water or something. It's wonderful.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. So we have 16 different uses for lavender. Lavender is extremely calming, great for the mood, but it also helps with hair growth. And so just like I was mentioning about putting it into your lip balm or lipstick or whatever, you can also add it to you can add lavender to your mascara, and that'll help with hair growth as well if you want to grow your lashes a little bit. It also helps with aiding in urine flow. So if you tend to get a little bit backed up bladder-wise, it's a great one for that. Helps reduce muscle tension and discomfort. Great for body temperature as well as the peppermint. Not quite as strong in that regard, but still, like if you don't have your peppermint with you, great way to help reduce that temperature is lavender. Protects and reduces blemishes. So if you have any kind of skin imperfections, it's great for that. And it also helps to protect from scarring, and good for bladder and kidney support. It does repel bugs, so we're getting to be on summertime, springtime, where we have a lot more insects and bugs than we normally do. It is also great for supporting healthy circulation. It does support the reduction of bleeding. So let's say you get a cut or a scrape and that bleeding just keeps going. I've even had my niece, she's got bloody noses quite often, and we'll take a little bit of lavender on some cotton balls and shove them up in her nose, and the bleeding stops much more quickly. You're not really supposed to put oils up the nose, so you can also put it across the bridge of your nose as well. It also helps to reduce mental stress. So we have more stress in our lives now than ever before, and so it's great for calming us down in that regard and reducing those feelings of anxiousness as well. And then also too, sometimes it's really hard to calm down before going to bed, and so this does promote more restful sleep as well. And it's also very soothing in the regard of seasonal upset. So right now we're in the middle of, season changes, lots of pollens happening. And so we tend to get a little bit more irritated. Great for any kind of respiratory upset as well as the seasonal stuff that's happening. So your lavender challenge is going to be place 1 to 3 drops on the bottom of your feet or on your wrists when you feel stressed, or when it's time to rest. And we would love for you to share your results on what you receive during those times where you use this lavender. Then we have oregano. So 13 common uses for oregano. Oregano is amazing for skin repair if there's like a wound present. I've had quite a bit of amazing results with having maybe something that just won't heal up right, or there might be something kind of underneath where it is not visible. And the oregano is really good at drawing it up and out and supporting the natural immune response as well. So, you know, we, of course, your body has its own immune system that it just helps to kind of protect that and help also protect yourself against any kind of immune threats. Great for the respiratory system, so it helps aid in breathing. It also helps to relieve tension. So especially things that have to do with like menstrual cramps and hormone fluctuations, really good in that regard. Even menopause type symptoms, it's really good for help soothing those kinds of things, especially like when we get our monthly cycle and it tends to be kind of like achy. It's really good for that kind of stuff because it does cleanse the body of things that don't belong. It also helps with repelling any kind of like worms, mosquitoes, or insects that we don't want. Great for seasonal relief as well. Protects and cleanses the skin surfaces. So if you need something that's kind of more antiseptic and you don't have, you know, maybe you can't get, you know, your alcohol or peroxide at the store, you could definitely use oregano in that instance as well. Might not feel so great for about a minute, but it'll really keep it clean. This is also really good for any kind of like nail fungus or anything like that too. Helps reduce with muscle spasms and support healthy circulation. And it's also really good for eye health. I would probably use it towards the back of the neck because if you get oregano anywhere near your eyes, it is not pleasant. And you always want to make sure you're diluting this one as well. It is a very, very hot oil on the skin. And then we have 14 common uses for tea tree oil. So tea tree oil or melaleuca is going to be really, really good for helping reduce parasitic activity, supporting natural immune function and defenses, combating those threats, especially viral and bacterial. It does help to eliminate odors. If you've smelled your melaleuca or your tea tree oil, you can smell it's really medicine-like. It also does boost hair health. So if you have trouble with like dandruff or really dry, flaky scalp, you can add a couple of drops of this to your shampoo to help reduce that. You could also just take it and rub it on your fingers and then rub it into your scalp as well. Great for menopause symptoms as well as the oregano. And it is a powerful deodorizing agent. So great for use under the arms to help reduce odors and help to cut down on any kind of bacteria. So the bacteria is what makes our armpits smell and gives us body odor. So that's going to cut down on a lot of that. It does support the skin when infectious activity is present as well. I had a friend, she was washing her dishes and like a cup broke and so she went to go clean it up and she accidentally dropped it and it cut her arm, like her forearm right here. And so like all her tissue was kind of exposed. It's a pretty nice size cut, probably about 1 inch wide. And she put the melaleuca right in there to help clean it up because, you know, you have dirty dishes and who knows what's on the cup. And within a couple days, it was all healed up. I mean, the scarring, you couldn't even tell that she even had done anything. So, and she was worried about having a big old nasty scar there because it was kind of jagged. So it was great for that. It also helps to reduce fungal activity as well. So your oregano and melaleuca tend to be used in conjunction together with fungal stuff. And it also protects and cleanses the skin surface. So like we mentioned, if there's anything that's not supposed to be on the skin, great way to kind of make it antiseptic as well. And it doesn't burn nearly as bad as the, actually it doesn't really burn at all compared to the oregano. And then also great for muscle tension, repelling bugs, mosquitoes, and fleas and ticks. And then it also is great for achy ears. So I like to put, if anybody in the home has like an achy ear, I like to put a couple drops behind the ear, or take a cotton ball, put a drop on it with some lavender, and then put it inside the ear. Like, you don't drop your oils in, but you can set the cotton ball with the oils on it just right inside that ear. And that's helpful.
So frankincense, so 14 common uses for frankincense. Frankincense is the oil that we say when in doubt frankincense. So, I mean, it works for so many things, but here's some 14 top things you can use it for. But if you have something going on, almost anything, you can just drop some frankincense on. So it's really good for your oral cavity and healthy gums. I like to put it underneath my tongue every morning and at night. It supports the body when unfriendlies are present. So it'll help you rid of things that shouldn't be in your body. It helps reduce muscle tension and discomfort. It's great for inflammation. It supports your natural hormone balance. It's also really good for your skin texture, oiliness, great in moisturizers on your face. It protects and smooths the skin surfaces. It's also good for bad breath. It helps reduce stress. It's also really well for hair growth. And it's good for your respiratory system as well. You can use it for feelings of acceptance. It'll give you focus and invigorating energy. It's wonderful for your circulation, and it helps improve your brain, your mood. It's really good for your brain as well. So frankincense is just one of those oils that I use on a daily basis. I use it in my moisturizer, under my tongue, and it's just one of the definitely top oils to have. So we want to try to place, here's our challenge, place 1 to 3 drops in your moisturizer each day, or place a drop under your tongue each day, or be crazy like me and do both each day. It's up to you. But we'd love to hear your results after doing this for a little while.
Yes, yes, awesome.
Now, copaiba, 14 common use for copaiba. It helps improve your mood also. It's really good for healthy blood pressure. It helps support oral care. It's really good for skin balance. It smooths and protects your skin surfaces. So another one that's great to use in your moisturizer or just on your face. It helps reduce congestion. So just putting it over the bridge of your nose is a great way to help with congestion. It's really good for restful sleep as well. It's calming for the brain and the body. It supports your immune system. It's good for focus and attention. It's really good for muscle soreness. I love copaiba and frankincense together for muscle soreness, works really well. It's good for your hormones. It'll help you if there's something fungal present that you don't want. And I don't think any of us want any fungus among us, but if you don't want it there, use some copaiba. And it's also a natural diuretic. So if you have issues there, copaiba is a good way to help you out in that area.
Awesome. All right, so breathe. Breathe, 10 common uses for your Breathe blend. Breathe helps support healthy respiratory efforts. So, I mean, anything you can think of to do with the respiratory tract, especially like reducing feelings of nervousness. Sometimes when we do feel a little bit anxious, we tend to hold our breath, or we feel like we can't breathe. And so it's a great kind of combination to calm them both. And it also helps to reduce muscle respiratory tension and discomfort. So things like coughing, congestion, we tend to tighten up when we start coughing a lot. So it does help to relieve that as well. And it does increase oxygenation during your workouts or exercise. So getting more oxygen to the brain just helps us think more clear, gives us better judgment, helps us feel better, get a better mood. So just a nice little overlap. Helps to open the airways up. So a lot of time there's a whole, like, well, for breathing, there's a whole exchange of air that happens, CO2 for carbon dioxide for oxygen. And so it helps to open up those airways so that we can exchange better. And then it also helps to reduce congestion, supports seasonal relief. So this is another one that you can use, just like we had peppermint that helps to open up our airways as well. This has peppermint in it and a lot of other oils that are great for the respiratory tract, but it'll help clean up those sinuses as well. And it also helps to cleanse odors. So if you have odors in the air that you don't want, a great way to do some cleansing for those. And then it also helps with runny nose. I like to put it over the bridge of my nose. I like to diffuse this one. I cannot stand having a runny nose. I would rather puke my guts out than have a runny nose. I turn into a big baby. So this is one that I absolutely cannot live without, especially if any kind of allergies or anything are going around. This is my first go-to.
Me too.
Anybody here have respiratory stuff that they work on a regular basis?
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Not fun, huh?
No.
10 uses for DigestZen. DigestZen is wonderful for helping support individuals who lack interest in life. So kind of a little bit motivating. It also helps to support healthy digestion, which is what the blend was created for. It does reduce feelings of nervousness because we know that digestive function is tied into our brain health as well. So the two kind of go hand in hand. It does also help to help with respiratory functions as well. So if you are needing breathing support or respiratory support or digestive support, you can actually kind of use Breathe and DigestZen interchangeably. We've had to kind of do that every once in a while. It does help to reduce unwanted mucus too. So not only the mucus that accumulates in the gut that makes us get like all of a sudden allergies to certain foods, also too, when we get a buildup of mucus in the respiratory tract, the DigestZen is great for that as well. It also helps to promote healthy appetite. So if you're someone who doesn't ever really have hunger pains, or you have too many hunger pains, it kind of helps to bridge the gap for you and even you out, which is nice. It also helps to improve assimilation of foods, so you'll get more out of your food from what you're eating, which is great, so better digestion. And then it also soothes any kind of tummy troubles. So whatever that is, gas, bloating, diarrhea, nausea, vomiting, whatever it is that you can think of. I've had food poisoning a few times. It seems like every time I go on a cruise, I get food poisoning, which is kind of scary. You'd think I wouldn't want to cruise anymore. But I'm able to recover really, really quickly by having the DigestZen in my hand. So I'll drink that like every hour, and then I feel much, much better within a good 24 hours. It also helps soothe feelings of overwhelm, and it also helps us improve adaptation to something new. So if you are having to learn something new or study something, this is a great blend to have on hand as well.
So 10 common uses for Deep Blue blend. So Deep Blue comes in the oil and then also comes in the cream form. So they're both effective. There's a full bottle of a Deep Blue in the cream form. If I have something severe, I like to use the oil first and then put some of the cream over it. So it helps support individuals who are grieving. So it's really good at just helping you to deal with that pain, the emotional pain. It's also good for soothing aches and discomforts. It helps support respiratory function. It helps ease discomfort of sunburn or bee stings. It helps muscles after workouts. It helps reduce joint discomfort. It's really good for menstrual cramps. It soothes feelings of overstimulation. It helps soothe cough and sore throat. It's wonderful if you have a sore throat to just rub on the outside of your throat, or if you're coughing, your chest gets that soreness from coughing, or the middle of your back. It's wonderful to put the oil or the rub or both on to help with that pain. It really does help. And it's also great for post-workout stress on our muscles. So lots of good uses for Deep Blue.
Mm-hmm.
And anywhere that you have pain, just putting it topically, that spot is going to help.
So I'll share. So my I just threw my back out, which we were just talking about a little bit ago. But so there's different types of pain, and I kind of like to use different things for whatever kind of pain that I'm having. Right now, I'm responding really, really well to past tense. We have a tension roller, so I'm putting past tense on and Deep Blue rub over it. And then I'm saran wrapping my back. So like all around my abdomen, I'm saran wrapping that. And so what it is it's like locking in all that oil, and it makes it work for like 4 hours for me. So I just replace the oils and the saran wrap and everything every 4 hours, and I'm good. So I don't know if you know somebody that deals with like horrible back pain, but or like muscle spasms. Great way to reduce those. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. So 10 common uses for On Guard blend. So On Guard has probably been one of my best friends the last 8 weeks or so, using it all daily, more than once a day. But it's great for helping support the new tissue when a wound is present. So it helps us to regrow that new tissue and get it to coming back when there's a wound. I had a friend who burnt a big part of skin, and it was nasty. And just putting the On Guard, it just helped. You could see it just day by day just shrinking, and the inside you could see where it was turning black in certain areas where the tissue was dying. It was coming back, and it healed up really nicely. So it's really good for wounds, especially when the tissue, you can see all that loveliness inside there. It's also great for blackheads on stubborn acne. It's really good for like if you get back acne from working out or any of that, it works wonderful for that. We have an On Guard soap that we love to use when we get that kind of acne. It cleanses surfaces, so it's wonderful for cleaning. It's really good for our respiratory tract. It's wonderful for our immune system and combating threats that we don't want getting us. It's good for restful sleep. It's also really good at helping your blood sugar balance. So it's really good for helping balance out your sugars. It also supports the body if you're anemic, and I am anemic, or borderline, I should say. And I used to get like dizziness and lightheaded and just different things. And I use On Guard every day and some other oils, and I haven't had issues with that in a long time. And it's also great for oral care. It's wonderful to use in your toothpaste, rub on your gums, oil pull with it. It's something where you can use coconut oil and pull with it. It'll pull that bad stuff out of your mouth that you don't want in there. It also helps if you're congested to do that as well. It helps pull things out. And then it's also great for weight management. So On Guard has a lot of uses. It's a wonderful oil.
Oh, it's one of the best.
Yes.
Do you want to share about Adaptive?
Sure. So Adaptive, we've only had now, I think it's coming up on a year almost. And it's definitely jumped to the top of my oil list. So there's 9 common uses for an Adaptive oil. So it helps calm. So it's really good for calming. It helps when acclimating to new surroundings or new stresses. It's really good at just helping with that, with this whole distance learning thing. That has really been an oil that's helped me just kind of not freak out and focus when I'm trying to learn these Zoom calls with students and do all that kind of stuff. It's also good for positive feelings. It reduces feelings of stress. It helps you relax. It helps with focus. It's also really good for cognitive function and emotional balance. So again, like just being able to focus and think and not get overwhelmed. It helps with restful sleep. It comes in a capsule form, it comes in a roller, and it comes in the oil form. So all 3 of those are wonderful, but really helpful for sleeping. And it supports the body when anemia is present also. So that's one of those oils that's really good if you have a hard time focusing, or if you have a little bit of ADD going on where you're just like doing a million things at once and can't really finish any task. This is one of those great oils for that.
Awesome. So we have something called the Daily Drop app, and you can go, whether you have Android or whether you have iPhone, you can go to your little app browser and find Daily Drop from doTERRA. And what it does is it kind of gives you like a daily educational little snippet of information that's wonderful to kind of have at your fingertips. So I've learned a ton of different things on using this app. It's amazing. Unconventional ways that you can use Deep Blue, or different things that we maybe have not have thought of or find in a book or in some of the literature that we already have. So it's a great app to have, and it's really easy to use and easy to share as well. So we have some other resources available to you. And I'll post these so that you can just click the link in the forum. And then also too, if you're not in the Holistic Harmony forum, be sure to friend one of us and let us know that you want in there, and we'll get you in there. But there's some amazing videos that we've recorded And these have been available, you know, what are oils, why use oils, and then all the different oils that we talked about, which is great. The lifelong vitality supplements. I love to hear how Dr. Axe describes how awesome the lifelong vitality supplements are, which is phenomenal. And then also, I wanted to share, so, you know, sharing the essential oils with friends is a great way to support and help them. Right now, we're looking at going back into society, somewhat normal, you know, and so a lot of times we're a little bit leery, you know, how do we protect ourselves? How do we protect the people that we love? You know, what if they test positive? What do we do? You know, it's always like after the fact, after you've been exposed, that you find out, right? It's like, you know, so, you know, having these oils as an arsenal in your hands are very, very powerful. And so there's definitely some benefits to sharing them with the people that you love other than the health benefits. So one of my friends, she was a single mom. She was worried that she would have to go back to work after having her youngest and dropping him off at daycare. He absolutely did not like daycare. And when she was previously working, it broke her heart to take him and drop him off. And so she wanted to find a way to actually stay home with him. And in less than a year of sharing doTERRA, she was able to consistently make enough to where she could stay home with him and not have to drop her baby boy off to daycare. And then I have another friend who needed a second vehicle. Her and her husband were sharing a vehicle. And, you know, of course, sharing a vehicle while you're on, you know, social distancing isn't that big of a deal. But when you are not in social distancing, it's a little bit tougher. And so she began sharing essential oils. And just in a few short months, she was able to get the second car by using the payment that she was making by saving and changing lives using these precious oils. So I want to know who you know that either maybe wants to get another car, maybe not go back to work and leave their kids at home. Like, who do you know that are like these two friends of mine? And then also too, you know, if you have, what other oils do you have that we did not mention that you maybe got in your kit? And we could talk about those right now.
Did we talk about balance? I don't remember.
I don't think so. No, we didn't talk about balance. You're more than welcome to share about balance.
Yeah, balance is one of my favorites from the beginning. It's been one of the ones that, it's one of those grounding blends that works so well with all the other oils, like especially for emotional balance or copaiba. Having those and using them with other oils to help with emotional issues is wonderful. I put it underneath my underarms every day to just help cleanse and reduce some of the toxins that build up in our glands under there. But it's really good on your forehead or your big toe and just helping you to just feel balanced for the day. It's just a grounding oil that works really well and just kind of leveling you out and helping you to balance your body physically, emotionally, and even hormonally. So it helps in all those areas.
Yeah, it's even great for like diaper rash or skin issues as well too, which, I mean, I wouldn't think of that, but I have a friend, he's got like 9 kids and he's like, oh, best stuff ever for diaper rash, like clears it up like that. Really? Not lavender? No, balance. He's like, I love balance. Okay.
It's not hot at all and it smells good. It smells clean and fresh. So it's a really good oil to use on children, especially because it's not very offensive at all. And it's not hot, so it's not warm, but it is very soothing to skin and the emotions, like you said, diaper rash, things like that. Even like that, I had a friend that had a heat rash, and balance worked really well at helping with that.
Awesome. Any other ladies that you can think of that we didn't talk about that you want to learn more on?
Can't think of anything offhand.
No? Okay. All right. Well, we are here for you. So if you have any questions at all, or if you think of any oils, we would love to answer those questions for you and share more about how to use those. So we just want to say
I have a
thank
question.
Sure.
The new one, the twist one,
Citrus
the citrus twist. Yes, I used it today and it smells amazing.
I haven't gotten mine yet. I'm so excited.
I just got my box. I didn't get to open it yet, so I am so excited to go try it because I've been
Smells
like
really
reading
good.
So, like, if you had to compare it to, like, what does it smell like to you? Like, how would you describe it?
I can smell the lime. I can smell the what else is in there? Lemon, I think. But I really smell the lime. The lime is pretty strong, but it smells so citrusy. I don't even know how to describe it. It smells so
reminds me
citrusy.
of
It
the
smells really good.
tangerine one.
It's still going right now.
Okay, so it smells a lot like tangerine.
Tangerine.
That's what it reminds me of, the tangerine one.
Okay.
Smells really good.
Oh,
Okay.
yummy.
Yeah.
Did you smell, Liz, did you smell citrus bloom?
Did I smell citrus in it? Yes.
The citrus bloom, do you have the citrus bloom blend?
Is that what you mean?
That one has a little more floral.
No, I don't
Yeah.
have that one.
No? Okay. Yeah, it came out like a couple weeks ago when we had our BOGOs. I didn't know if you had it yet. No.
They're coming out with a whole line
No,
of.
I haven't gotten it yet. What's really weird, I haven't got my my BOGO yet. So I'm gonna call doTERRA again tomorrow. I called them last Friday and they said that it was UPS was delivering it to the post office. But I still haven't gotten it. So I need to call tomorrow again.
Yeah, it did take quite a while. They
For
had
that
so
one, the
many
citrus
orders.
bloom. But
Yeah, I just got one of my BOGOs today.
well, what was really weird. Oh wow. What was really weird is I ordered the Mother's Day one last week and it said it wouldn't be here till the 17th, but it came on Saturday.
Oh, good.
That's so
So
weird.
that was really weird. Yeah, but the BOGO hasn't come.
Yeah, one of
Those
my,
smell really good too. I don't know if y'all have smelled those.
I didn't open my box yet, so I'm excited
Those
about
smell
that
really
one too. I just
nice.
got that today, the Mother's Day. And
Yes.
So my gift is in there. Yeah.
Ooh,
This
exciting.
summer they're
Yes, I'm
coming
gonna
out with
use them as a
whole,
perfume.
they're coming out with the whole citrus bloom like lotion and body wash, and I can't wait for that.
Oh,
That's
deodorant.
Oh,
deodorant.
nice.
Awesome. Yes. Oh, wait. Yep, you're on mute. Okay.
I unmute myself.
Yeah.
So the one you're talking about, the Citrus Bliss, what is it good for besides just smelling good and makes you feel good? Is it good for anything else?
The bliss or the twist? Or, there's so many citruses now.
know,
It's
they're
citrus
so
bloom,
similar.
bliss, and twist.
Message to Amber, because I was getting confused between the Bliss and the
Twist.
other one, not the twist, but there's another one.
The
The bloom?
citrus, the bliss is the one that you got
Oh,
free
the
when you
Bliss
signed
and
up.
the Bloom. Yeah, they're almost like, they seem like the same. So I'm like, why would I use one more than another? Or, I mean, the names are even so confusing. And I know the two that I have, they smell very similar.
Mm-hmm.
The
They do
bloom?
smell similar.
The bloom has more floral to it, so it has the magnolia and stuff. That one's really good for emotions. That one also is good for skin. The bliss is invigorating. It's good for the brain. More that has the lime, right? And it has vanilla and
Yeah. Vanilla. Mm-hmm.
chamomile. That one's the more calming. I mean, it's uplifting, but it's really good for your brain health. So they have the citrus to them, which are of course good for cleansing and good for your body and all of that. But the bloom has more of the floral side to it, and the bliss has more of just the citruses, the lime,
Well, what about the twist then? Is that's because
twist I haven't gotten yet, but well, I got it. It's out there, but that's a brand new
I
oil.
ordered it today. Well, I got it free today with my order.
Yes.
Ooh, exciting.
Yeah.
So the twist, I'm thinking that one is more like we could even probably drink that one and stuff
That's
because
what I'm
it's
thinking.
lime
Put
and
it in water
citrus.
or something.
Where the bloom has more the floral side to it, so I don't know how
Right.
it'll taste.
Yeah.
That's probably more for emotional perfume and things like that, and
Yeah.
uplifting. Even the bliss because of the vanilla, but the twist I think would be wonderful to drink and
Yeah.
help cleanse
Okay.
internally,
Okay.
as opposed to
Thank
the
you.
other
I
two.
got my book today, just right now.
Oh, it came? Oh, good, because I was wondering, I ordered all these
Now that just knocked on the door right now.
Oh, good. That means everybody
That's
else.
exciting.
Yay.
Hey, yeah, I think the citrus, bloom, twist, and bliss have a lot of overlapping properties. Because anytime you have citrus, citrus has like its own, like if you go back to the lemon, citrus, almost all the citruses have those same properties. Yeah. So you'll have a lot of, so it'll kind of just be like whatever you want to smell
Okay.
for that
They're
day.
all going to benefit your body, but they just have a little different combination of what's in them. So, but magnolia, which is in the citrus bloom, is very good for depression, anxiety. So that one's going to be really good for like that somber feeling. It's really, you know, for that kind of thing. Where the bliss is for like focus and kind of that kind of thing. And
Motivation. Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of, and then twist sounds more like for the internal cleansing. You probably even clean with it because it just has those basic citruses. It doesn't have the vanilla in it or the magnolia and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they do definitely have similar components.
I did think of an oil of, what do you use the neroli for?
Well, let's see. So neroli.
Well, neroli is good for brain. It's wonderful for skin. It's good for emotions. I roll it on behind my ears when I have like dizziness, because I read something about that it's really good for vertigo and stuff like that. So it's got a lot of those benefits. It is good for the brain. It's good for emotions.
I think it's good for blood pressure too.
Blood pressure. I was going to say it's good for the calming, so like blood pressure and bringing down your body, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So I always put it behind my ears. I'd read something about putting it behind your ears is really effective. So that's where I put it. Yeah. I was reading something, actually somebody sent me something today about vetiver. We don't really talk about that one that often, but you know, I always use it for sleep and brain and focus, but it's really good for breast tissue. So there was a study just done on vetiver, and it's really good for breast tissue. So using that to help with health of our breasts.
Yeah.
Really good.
So I wonder if that would work. I wonder if that vetiver would work. I get pains in my breast, like, you know, the pain that you get when you have milk coming in, but I don't have milk coming in. But I get that, and my doctor said it was a lack of vitamin E. But I wonder if that vetiver would work.
I'd try it.
You try it because it's really good for helping regenerate the cells and tissue in your breast, so helping with healthy breast tissue. So I would try it.
I have the same thing, and I was just doing another Zoom call with one of the other leaders, and she said to do the frankincense. So I've been doing like the frankincense on.
Yeah, I use frankincense every day, so I was going to add vetiver to it because I do put frankincense every day. When I get out of the shower, I just kind of, you know, do a little. So I was going to add vetiver to it because it seemed to have a lot of good qualities.
Yeah, the clary sage and clary calm would be good too for the breast tissue as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like the hormone effect. And then also Dena had just posted a picture of like the like detoxing your armpits. And so like if you can detox your armpits, the more you do that, the better it is, because like the lymphatic tissue is so close. And so that's what kind of your fat cells, your breasts are fat cells. And so fat cells tend to accumulate toxins more readily and more easily. So if we can clear out the toxins, then that reduces our chance of breast cancer. So that just helps in that regard.
Yeah, the mud mask that they have, I didn't get to try it yet. I was going to do it tomorrow, but yeah, it's really good to just be able to put on, and it'll help pull that stuff out. I've used their mud mask on my face. I just haven't used it on my underarms yet. So somewhere new to try it.
I'm going to do a whole body mud mask.
And I was going to say, you probably could put it like right on your chest to help with that pulling stuff out. If there's something that's bothering, it would probably work well there too. So when you're doing underarm, just kind of swipe right, swipe left.
Awesome. Any other questions, ladies?
Yes, I made a recipe tonight of a cilantro lime sauce, and I use lime juice, but I wonder, like it calls for 2 tablespoons of lime juice. I wonder, do you know how much oil, if I wanted to try the lime oil, how much to use? Would I just use like a drop maybe?
Probably 1 drop. Lime's pretty strong. I made like salsa. I made guacamole, and I put cilantro and lime, and I put like 3 drops of lime, and it was very limey. So I would say probably 1 drop of lime, 1 cilantro would be.
I'm gonna try that next
It tasted good,
Yeah.
the guacamole, but it was definitely the lime was overtaking it. So I think 1 drop would have been a good amount.
Yeah, and I always start with 1 drop and then taste it, and then if you need more, add more, because you can add, but you can't subtract.
Exactly. I added more avocado and stuff to it, and it blended out
Yeah.
fine. But yeah.
And the cilantro is very powerful. Like the
Yeah.
minute you use the cilantro oil, it's way more overpowering than the lime. So the minute that you put that in there, people are gonna be like, "Whoo, how many cilantro heads did you put in here?" You know, it's gonna taste like it's cilantro with a teeny bit of avocado.
Yeah, when I first started, Dena had given me, I had a lot of heavy metals in my body, my system. Like I've always just had issues with that. And I had gotten one of those foot bath things, and it was disgusting. Like it was one of the worst ones the lady had ever seen. You could see little flecks like floating in it, and a little kid actually threw up from seeing it. Like it was bad. So she was like, you need cilantro. So she had given me like a little sample to try cilantro, and I was putting it in my water, and I think on top of my head, or I don't know, maybe over, I don't know. Anyways, so I had it on the counter, and the cat had knocked it off the counter, and it fell onto the tile, and it smelled like a Mexican restaurant in my kitchen for like a month. Like it was strong. You definitely don't need cilantro.
I have a question about the cilantro. I have a friend that's actually allergic to cilantro, so would she be allergic to the oil also?
She
Or-
should not be, only because there's not really the proteins that you would have in the actual spice, like the actual plant. It's just the oil form. So she shouldn't be, but I would have her just like what happens when she does cilantro.
She gets an itchy throat with it.
Yeah, so I would probably take just a little bit and just put it on the bottom of her foot and see if she reacts at all.
Yeah, feels itchy at all. Because I've heard a lot of people that have like allergies to lavender and different things, but the oils, they don't have the same, because it's a different component of the plant. So yeah, just have her try a little bit and see.
Yeah.
But cilantro is really good for a lot of things. Yeah, it's one of those oils we don't hear about a lot, but it's good for lots and lots of things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Any other questions? I'm glad you got your book, Amber. That means the other people should be getting theirs. That's good.
I know it seemed like it took forever.
Well, I haven't got mine yet, so I was like, but I checked and it said they shipped, so I was like, okay, good. So, but all right, good.
What book was it?